So a few months ago, we had the opportunity to purchase and pick up a Hardcore Hammers Supernaturalist hatchet. Now that thing was awesome, and coming under $100, I think it had a lot of capabilities that just your average hatchets don't offer. Well, after that video, Hardcore Hammers reached out to us and said, hey, if you guys like the Supernaturalist, I think you're gonna love the Survivalist. So this is just the slightly heavier duty version of the Supernaturalist. They've added some things, made the head a little heavier, a little bit thicker, made some different little tweaks and modifications, same handle length, same sheath system, everything is very similar, but you're getting more power, more punch with the Survivalist. So we had a chance to take this out, thump and thrash on this thing, and we gotta tell you that this thing was very impressive. Let's take a look, walk through this thing, throw it up against a Supernaturalist and see which one of these two Hardcore Hammers hatchets are gonna be the right one for your systems.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right, so we're gonna definitely be comparing the previously reviewed Supernaturalist over here with the Survivalist because of not only just the very similar design, but for those of you who have either already seen the Supernaturalist or you own it and you're trying to decide if the Survivalist is the right upgrade for you. Now, they're both made out of 4140 high carbon steel. It's a great steel that I enjoy using. I've had great experience now with this on these two hatchets as well as a few others. Very tough, very durable, very shock resistant. There are tomahawks from RMJ that are like $450 using the exact same type of steel. And it is a good steel for the head of an axe from what I have seen and experienced. Now, the weight on the Survivalist is gonna be 2 ounces heavier, so the head weight is gonna be 19 ounces overall, whereas the previously reviewed Supernaturalist was 17 ounces. So out of the gate, you're like, what's the big deal? We'll see in just a moment where those 2 ounces come in, and I think it definitely kicks up the performance level on the Survivalist. Now, dimensionally, the Survivalist has a shorter kind of snub nose design, whereas the Supernaturalist has more of like a longer, more agile design. Think of like a 45 ACP 9mm here is kind of the aspect. We're looking at 5.6 inches from edge to the back of the hammer, and then we're looking at 6.6 inches from edge to the back of the hammer on the Supernaturalist. So now one of the first things you'll notice where some of those ounces add up is over here on the Survivalist, we have 1.25 inch thick head. Over here on the Supernaturalist, we have 1 inch thick head. So we have a 1/4 inch thicker head here, which is a significant difference. And we have a nice lip with some really good checkering here that can really grab those nails, pegs, stakes, that type of thing. Whereas on the Supernaturalist, it still does a good job, but it could glance off, bounce off, and maybe not get quite the energy focused in one single point like the Survivalist will. And hopefully you guys can see this on frame. Trying to do all this in shot is not always easy. But basically over here, the Survivalist, this is going to have an overall thicker head and for coming in from the cutting edge, whereas the Supernaturalist has a thinner head overall coming in from the cutting edge. So that means that technically the Supernaturalist over here will be able to penetrate a little bit better, but the overall thicker head all the way down into the main head here is going to cause for not only greater weight distribution, but also splitting tasks. And I was very pleased with the splitting capability of the Supernaturalist in comparison, of the Survivalist here over the Supernaturalist. There was a noticed difference between the two hatchets. And finally, just that extra 2 ounces just really overall excelled all of the chopping that we did, from hacking and cutting down and chopping, smaller trees, splitting larger logs, that type of a thing. We were just really pleased, and we could see that it was definitely an upgrade. Those 2 ounces really do a lot for you in the power range of cutting and chopping tasks. Now, one thing I wanted to compare, because the Supernaturalist is really nimble. Again, feels like a tomahawk in your hand, really lightweight, agile. You can do lots of bushcraft, finer tasks like carving, making tent pegs, feather sticks, that type of thing. So I wanted to see how the Survivalist could handle that. So I went to town and made a tent peg, and that was a blast, and it did awesome.
Make the spike end right here. Very manageable for these smaller tasks. Just kind of carve it off a little bit. There we go. Now we can do the notch on the other side. Awesome, super easy to make a tent peg with this little guy. Obviously the spike down here, very easy. And then a nice huge notch here for the paracord, to attach for a tarp, a tent, whatever you may need to do. Now let's just hammer it into the ground. Nice. Man, the hammer makes it super easy. Good to go. Awesome.
The nail puller is a nice extra feature that it has, so that you can pull nails, that type of thing. So it's a more useful tool in multiple scenarios, not only around the house, a survival situation, or camping, that you wouldn't get with just your average camp axe. The Survivalist also has dual rings here to help split the wood, and it's nice and flush with the head. Whereas on the Supernaturalist over here, you can see that the wood comes up a little bit above the head, and we have just 2 nails in here. Not bad, and it definitely holds its weight and definitely does what it's supposed to do, but there's just a level of fit and finish on the Survivalist in those features that you're not going to get on the Supernaturalist. And you can even see this kind of neck here, this metal neck that goes onto the wood. You're lacking that on the Supernaturalist. So the Survivalist, you can tell, is just not only has a nicer head, heavier head, more thought out head, if you will. Not that the Supernaturalist isn't thought out, but it just has more to offer. So the upgrade in price, you're getting an upgraded head in every category as well. And finally, it doesn't look like it on film, but the handles are the exact same handle. The Survivalist is just closer to the camera. So you're looking at just a hair under 18 inches, which I really like that length. I get a little bit more real estate to play with and work with, so I can back up further, get more power, get more leverage than axes that are more like 14 inches. That are pretty prevalent on the market in this kind of price range and size range. So I'm getting more action, more capability with this, and this is a hickory handle. So really pleased with that aspect as well. So I'm going to hit price with you guys, and we are going to have links in the description below over to Amazon. Both of these axes or hatchets are able to be found on Amazon. That's a great way to help support the channel. When you guys click on those hyperlinks that we offer you to Amazon, we get a little kickback, helps us buy axes and tomahawks and all of the different types of things, just like the Supernaturalist that I originally bought, and then the Survivalist was sent to us after Hardcore Hammers saw our original video on this. They were like, hey, you guys got to try this one out. And we were happy to do so to show you guys pros and cons of each and which one would be better. Now, the Supernaturalist alone is $60. Then if you want the leather sheath, that's another like $25. So you're looking at about $85 over here for the smaller compact guy. Now, there's no option to not get the sheath with the Survivalist, according to everything that I understand, everything I look online and on their website and everything like that. So this guy with the leather scabbard is going to be $135. So you're going to get about a $50 jump in price. They have, again, the same handle, and you're just getting a much better head. That's basically what the $50 goes for. You're getting a thicker head. You're getting, in my mind, a little bit larger, a little bit more power, and a little bit more attention to detail with like the dual rings to hold it into place, you know, the neck, all that type of stuff. So now it's definitely in the realm of some Grand Force Brooks and some other, you know, axes that are out there that are from like Sweden and Finland that are about the same size, that are about the same price. Now, I haven't used those axes, so I can't speak to their quality. I hear great things about that, but this is a US product, and I am very happy with everything from the fit and finish of the scabbard to the head and the quality of the 4140 steel, as well as the hickory handle. They've done a fantastic job. I don't see any issues. The head isn't loosening up. And so for that price of $135, you're gonna get some extra features and USA made quality that I don't see on a lot of other pack axes, like the really extended nice hammer and the nail puller. If those things are important to you or you like what you see, awesome. You know, if those aren't important to you, totally understand. So that's the price point. I think it's very reasonable for everything you're getting there, and it's running neck and neck with other pack axes or, you know, larger, on the larger end of hatchets that are out there from, you know, the Grand Force Brooks and those type of companies as well. So I think that they're giving us something different, but at the same quality level, which is totally awesome, and I'm totally digging that. So guys, if either of these axes are in your price point and they are what you are looking for, jump on over those links. That always helps us to continue to make videos just like this one for you guys. Well, folks, there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Really, you got to pick your poison. Do you want something lightweight, manageable, more pack ready? Do you want something that you don't mind a little extra weight and you want the power behind it? That will determine which hatchet is the right one for you. I love both, and depending on the system that I'm deploying it in that day, they work fantastic. So again, links below if you guys are interested in either one of these to check these things out. And again, I want to thank Hardcore Hammers for reaching out to us and sending us this model after we purchased and bought the first model, and we're able to run these up head to head for you guys, the viewers, to check out and see which one will be better for your system. So as always, thank you so much for coming over here, checking out the channel. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. Any questions you have, I'll answer in the comments for you below. Check us out on all the relevant social media as well. That's a great way to see what's up and coming. And always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.